Wow.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Boss Cave. I am the boss. With me I have the fading into the ether, Chad, and the Minecraft boy, Naru. So we're just gonna start this with a little preface right here. Chad's microphone is dog shit right now because he got a new laptop. So if you hear him fading into the ether or fading out of existence or being very quiet, that's why. It'll probably only be for this episode. I'm gonna try to work with him over the weekend to fix it. So with that out of the way, boys, what's new with yous?
You know, work.
Work.
Yeah.
What about you, Naru?
I'm playing this new niche game called Minecraft.
Oh, I love Minecraft. I love to build with brown bricks in Minecraft.
Wow, it's almost like this joke just isn't funny.
It's almost like you're not a fucking asshole. It's not even. We have not even been recording for fucking a minute, and you're already trying to go in on me. I see how it is.
That's his natural state.
Your life.
Yeah. So, Chedinsky.
Yo.
I'm not sure how much people are gonna be able to hear you, but what were you saying about what's new in your life?
Oh, work.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something extra that Naru and I talked over. I said and I before you fucking flip the
No,
fuck
it's
out.
like a spider who's trying to fucking rape me.
Oh.
Oh.
Chad, I said this before, but you sound like you're in a basement when you fade out.
I always was. It took you this long to figure it out?
There he goes again.
I'm quite literally in a hole in the ground.
So, you want to talk about some of the news? The gamer news?
Yeah, let's get right into the gamer.
Oh man, gamer news.
So, for the light stuff right now, we have, do you remember when PC Gamer kept really pushing Bathtub Geralt on their Twitter?
I'm sorry, what?
Bathtub Geralt. Do you guys not remember Bathtub Geralt from Witcher?
You mean
Geralt? Whatever his fucking name is,
Oh,
Geralt.
Bathtub Geralt.
Geralt. I don't play The Witcher.
I don't either. So, I mean, you don't have to.
But, Bathtub Geralt, or whatever you pronounce it.
Just call him Jerry.
Jerry, Bathtub Jerry is now a Nintendoid figure because PC Gamer pushed the shit out of it. It's, right now...
It's a Nindoroid of that?
Yeah, an Nindoroid. Right now, they are priced at $31, and you can get, 6 different poses from him, including the bathtub.
Oh.
I don't need
It's so good. Bathtub Geralt Jerry is the funniest thing ever.
Bathtub Jerry.
So let's get into something a little bit different. Somebody apparently tried to sneak marijuana into the United States from a Nintendo Nintendo Entertainment System cartridge. So
I mean, those things are pretty empty.
there is, and I hate this fucking New York Post because the first thing that they say when talking about this article, and they go, "Now that's a high score. I want to fucking punch whoever wrote that line."
I'm sorry.
No, that's a high score.
I'm gonna punch them. But yeah, somebody snuck it over the border, and it ended up in a Georgia flea market. They had 4 plastic bags packed with about 80 grams of drugs in them each, which is why the person buying the cartridge thought it was a fake one because it was heavy. It was very, very heavy. And he bought it for 50 cents, by the way.
50 cents, huh?
And the estimated price of the drugs inside the cartridge comes to about $200. So you know, like a bitch, he pussed out and told the police and the media. But if that was me in this situation, I just made $200.
Wow, way to get to like actual. Excuse me. Are you condoning this? Is this what we're saying?
No,
Okay then.
I'm just saying that if this was me in that situation, I just made $200.
This is why you're not a Twitch fan.
Look,
This
Twitch,
is exactly
Twitch, Twitch can keep cucking me all they want. It's just I'm gonna get that affiliate one day. We are gonna get that affiliate.
This is exactly why you're not.
And let's talk about something that's like really fucking bad. I don't know if you guys seen any of the Fortnite stuff that has been going on.
I haven't.
Okay, so I'll give you a rundown of it. You've seen those videos where it's like clickbaity, like, oh, watch my girlfriend get naked, even though they're not, obviously.
No, I've
What?
never.
You've never seen those.
What type of thing is that?
So there's videos on YouTube where it's like one kill equals one piece of clothing removed from my girlfriend or my wife or whatever. They've been around for a while. People seem to forget that they've been around for a while. But
Yeah,
it's hit a new low where people are now advertising strip Fortnite, where one kill equals one removing of clothes, one strip, one lick, one kiss, one whatever. And but the problem with it is, and it started with a guy. Uh, who was it? Hang on, I'm gonna read it. It started out with a guy named TSM Myth, which is a popular Fortnite streamer.
Oh no.
It started out with an idea proposed by TSM Myth, and he was talking to Ricegum about the video. And after that, a bunch of people has started doing it online. Now, this is not where the controversy comes in, because this shit has been going on for years on YouTube, like I've said. The controversy comes in to where people have been clickbaiting the video with, instead of one kill equals one strip for my girlfriend, it's been my 13-year-old sister. That's the exact reaction I gave, Naru.
Absolutely not.
It was.
Why?
I read this article and I was not only disgusted, but I thought immediately, like, do you guys? I don't know if you've been around the YouTube like controversy scene, but the
I try to stay away from it.
the so-called like child vloggers,
Child vloggers.
I
where
don't like that word.
either parents or more adult kids, like say 13, 16, 17, like that kind of age grade, like 16 to 17, or sorry, 13 to 17, like teenagers that are also underage will go and they'll start a YouTube channel where they'll start vlogging. But here's where it becomes bad. It's usually kids, and it's usually like parents that are raking in hundreds upon thousands upon millions of views for people that are under the age of 12, and they're wearing like a bathing suit for no reason.
I've never seen.
Or they're wearing
that.
like pajamas. I've seen that. Well, YouTube's been cracking down on it a lot lately, but I consume primarily most of my media through YouTube or through Netflix or through Hulu. I don't really leave my room unless I'm going to work.
Unless you give me links to this, I can't believe it because I don't believe 12-year-old videos.
You don't.
Videos of
Okay.
12-year-olds
Okay.
will get tens of millions of views.
You don't understand, Naru.
You don't. So it's just going back to the story at hand. These YouTubers would often repost their own content. They'd steal from other child vloggers. And it just spread around like a certain amount of videos. There'd be like 3 or 4 videos that you'd see like thousands of different times if you just searched up the word child vlogger or child vlog. And let me see if I can find it for you.
I'm tired.
And Well, basically, going back to what the original article was, the Strip Fortnite has been marketing these. There's one a special video that has 28.4 million views on it, and it is by somebody called. Let's see where it is. It's by a guy. Oh, Ricegum actually does do some of these. Ricegum has been doing some of them too, which got really, really big. But the one that I'm talking about is Forsen. This guy named Forsen.
Oh no.
And he has 24 million views on this one video where it's one kill equals one piece of clothing removed with my 13-year-old sister. And first of all, I want to say the video is fake. It's not his sister, and she's not 13. She's 17. Which is not.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That's not any better.
Okay,
But that
thank
was
you.
one of his responses.
That
And
was his response.
is first of all, she's not 13, she's 17. I'm reading the article right now.
Way to defend yourself, Forsen.
And it's just disgusting that the thumbnail is literally a topless girl with a censor bar over her, and it's the same girl in the video. Now, going back in this dude's video history, you can find more videos of him doing outlandish things with his so-called quote-unquote sister, who is 13. And there's one of him playing Truth or Dare, and it looks in the thumbnail that they're kissing.
I can't.
There's one called Strip Poker with my 13-year-old sister. There's a bunch of them, and it looks like this guy really just makes a bunch of these type videos to profit off of people either looking for that or confused teenagers that are like, what is a boner? Okay.
It's just clickbait.
It's mostly clickbait, but the video actually does have some substance to it where this woman is removing her clothes, although blurred, because it's YouTube, but she is actually removing her clothes under the guise of being 13. And the YouTuber actually says it multiple times during the video that she is 13 and she is his sister. Like, I get that if you want to just clickbait saying, oh, a prank gone wild, gone sexual, that kind of shit, that's like a lowbrow. That's lowbrow stuff. But I can kind of understand that if your content has nothing to do in the actual video with that type title. You're just like, come for the title video and then stay for the content kind of deal. It's lowbrow and it's definitely dirty, but I just don't believe that it's as dirty as continuing a lie. Like I'm making my 13-year-old sister strip and you know, for YouTube audience. First of all, the video was age restricted in the first place, which is good. But secondly, YouTube has done nothing so far against this guy. No slap on the wrist.
Respect.
I mean, think about how long it took for them to react to the ElsaGate scandal. Think about how long it took for them to react to fucking
YouTube
to
react.
PewDiePie, to
Funny joke.
PewDiePie saying the N-word.
YouTube doesn't care.
Yeah, they don't.
Or
How
Google, dude.
it took
Either one.
it took a whole week for them to kick Jake Paul off because of the body scandal, the dead body scandal, which is just something so stupid. And so far YouTube hasn't done anything, and Ricegum as well as other prominent Fortnite streamers, Myth has been doing this. What else?
I don't know any of the people you're naming, but go on.
I know some of them, and I'm just like, well, it doesn't surprise.
It doesn't go into detail, but there's a lot of people out here that are doing it. And oh, by the way, the Ricegum videos, each kill means one clothing removed from Ricegum, have on average about 10 million views. So, oof. I mean, it's just disgusting. To me, it really, really is disgusting. to see this type of behavior from people who profit off of younger aged viewers. Because I don't remember if you guys remember the whole Minecraft YouTubers are pedophile scandal that happened like way back in 2012.
Yeah.
Don't remember that at all.
So there was a. If you want to go with head chat and explain it, you can.
I said I only know like very brief things of it. Like you seem to have like more of an expansive knowledge of it, so you go ahead with it.
Well, I tend to remember a lot of things that are useless in information, and this is one of those useless information kind of deals. So basically, there was a guy named Lion Gate or some type of Gate Lion, Black Lion, something like that. He had a bunch of nicknames that he went on in YouTube because he kept changing his name every so often. But it always revolved around Lion, and he was a huge Minecraft YouTuber. He was up on the same level of like Captain Sparkles and who else? iPod Mail and like all those big Minecraft YouTubers that have since completely died. He at one point almost reached 1 million. I think he had something like 75,000, which is it's mostly kids. I think there was an age demographic on his video through Social Blade, and it was something like ages 8 to 12 on his videos, and it was confirmed that he was using those videos to DM children. Most notoriously, he DM'd a 8-year-old boy and asked for illicit pictures and eventually did sexually assault this child. And he was found guilty by California state law, which thank God he was. But it still put a huge death blow in the already kind of dwindling Minecraft YouTuber community. You'll see like a few I mean that's pretty much true. When's the last time you've seen a prominent YouTuber do Minecraft?
I don't know.
Other than maybe like the Yogscast or
Yogscast.
Boy.
He said Yogscast.
the primary. Well, if you think about it, Yogscast is a very big YouTube group.
I guess.
I think combined something they released it was like combined Yogscast and their affiliates have over like 7 or 8 million subscribers combined. It's just I'm very skeptical of a lot of things that go on with YouTube, especially as a company, but also as a platform. But that's all the news we got for today.
Wonderful.
You guys want to get into the topics real quick?
Well,
Yeah, let's get right on these topics.
I don't have gaming news
Okay, but you got something
per
to say.
se, but I do have something to say that involves video games.
Okay, if it's anything related to Breath of the Wild, the Metal Gear Solid 5, and the hating of it, I'm not gonna allow you to say it
Well,
because
it's not going to be about that, but I will try and find a way to make it about that now.
uh-huh.
So,
Congratulations, Bob.
Grant,
The joke
yesterday,
is that I like those games and Naru doesn't.
yeah, and I'm right, and he's
Mhm.
wrong.
Why are you booing him? He's right.
Anyways,
Opinions.
yesterday I asked you what your favorite Final Fantasy was.
Mhm.
You told me it was Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah.
And what did you say? Was because it was your favorite?
It's very, very whimsical. And the intro scene with the robots are very, very good.
Mhm.
I confused that one with the one that had Kefka in it, and I was like, wait a minute. After I had said it, it took me a while for me.
6.
Yeah, because I remember reading
Yeah.
I remember reading an article that like
Fraud.
that 6 was also like a prelude to 3, and then that's where I got the association from. But I'm correcting
Oh.
myself now and saying that
Prelude?
yeah,
Grant,
I know. It's-
everything you said was wrong.
First of all, I read an article about it, and
No,
second
you
of all, yes, I did. I'm not saying the article is true. I'm just saying I read one about it, and that's why it came into my brain as an associative memory.
Okay.
Cunt.
Okay, because they mentioned
Bitch.
3, because you mentioned 6 was because they mentioned 6 was a prelude to 3.
Uh-huh.
That's why you said, "Oh yeah, Kefka's from 3," because it made you think, "Oh, Kefka 3," because they were mentioned in the same article.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I understand where you're going.
No, it's
My
just
brain
funny.
works in a very mysterious manner to where
Yeah,
the
you're
words coming
And
out
fucking
of
by
my
that,
mouth.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
By that,
it
it
really
doesn't.
doesn't.
your fucking monkey brain.
You have a monkey brain too, you idiot.
I don't. I have a monkey brain, but my monkey brain is smarter than your monkey
My
brain.
monkey brain. The fuck was that slur?
At least I know the difference between Final Fantasy 3 and 6.
What time was it when we talked
This
about
source,
that? What time
source.
was it? It
It
was
was
like
like 10 o'clock.
no, it was like fucking
No,
12
it was
a.m.
10 o'clock.
Meg
Yo,
was
so if
there.
you're
At the
out there, Jerry Springer,
earliest.
please mediate this. If
You're the one that's mediating it, Chad.
No, I refuse to have a hand in mediating this.
Oh my god.
World turn.
Nari just tries to find ways to publicly humiliate me because that's his kink.
I mean, to be fair, he does the same to me whenever I bring up them's fighting herds.
Yeah.
Then again,
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah, public humiliate me.
Oh,
You
okay.
never do that.
All right. Mr. Nick. No, I'm not gonna.
No!
I'm not gonna.
No doxing.
I know.
Say my full name,
I know
bitch.
Naru's full name, and I'm not gonna say it on stream
I
because.
know it too. I know your name too. Your
Yeah,
name's dumb.
Yeah, but my name is. I'm named after a fucking truck.
I don't care. I'm named after a
Oh yeah,
religious figure.
his name is Tonka. Everybody.
Um.
Woof. Where's the button? Where's the button?
Anyways, so
Anyways,
on to the topics.
Grant's an idiot and doesn't know Roman numerals. On to other subjects.
All right, no. On to other subjects. So our topic for tonight was, or is, I should say, college stories and interesting stories from high school, because I found that to be a plethora of knowledge and information that you all can learn about me and or Chad
Well,
and or Naru.
I
Yes.
already have a college story
Oh.
from what happened today.
Oh. Please. Naru,
Oh,
was this the thing
God.
that we talked about before the podcast?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Just lay it on us here.
Okay.
Still.
And this isn't even just like college. This has been many times. Like I would have gone to Target bathrooms and like Kroger bathrooms.
Oh, you're talking about
Oh.
this.
And like so I went to school, and I had to take a massive shit. So,
Of course.
As
I
you
went-
do. As you
I
do.
went to the bathroom and I'm just like, okay, I'll just take a stall. I'm just gonna be on my phone for a bit. Just have a nice sit here for a bit. This dude comes in, gets into the stall next to me, and what followed was just grunts.
Wonderful.
Like grunts. Not like painful grunts, but just like
Poison damage.
Oh yeah, girl. Oh.
He was taking poison damage.
and just like I didn't hear anything else from that stall but him grunting. And then I hear like him peeing, and then he was like, "Oh," and I'm just like, I don't want to be here right now.
Yes, you do.
No, I
Oh,
don't.
You
So
signed up for this.
disturbing. It's just so gross. It's just like
Well,
God.
sometimes if you hold it in for like or a very long time, it
It's like
beats.
every time I'm in a bathroom, someone has to pass a kidney stone.
I'm telling
then,
you,
like-
it was poison damage. He was taking poison
then-
damage.
Fucking like later on, he doesn't make another sound, and then all of a sudden I hear him go like, "Ew, ew, 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 ew. Oh, I'm gonna have to wash my hand after that." It's like, what the fuck did you do? What the fuck did you do? Did you get shit on? Did you try to shove your hand up your ass?
He tried to grab the shit.
Oh,
Forcibly remove it from
can't.
his system.
I can't
It's
go to
scored it out.
bathrooms anymore.
That
You
reminds
can't just
me.
go when no one else goes.
That reminds me of a story that I wish Noel was here to help me tell. But so me in my senior year, no, my sophomore year of high school, I had a friend of mine named Cody, and I love Cody to death and everything, but
Mhm.
he's a bit of an idiot, and so am I, especially back then because
Oh shit, he admits it.
everybody in high school is an idiot. And if you say, "Oh, I'm not an idiot," and I'm in high school, give it a few years, you'll look back and say, "Man, I was an idiot." But basically, me and him were at lunch together, and we decided to just get up and start walking. And one of the things that we did was we were rambunctious little kids here. We ran into the bathroom, and I think he wanted to go wash his hands or something. Cody did, and I had to take a piss or something. But anyways, we go into the bathroom, and like there's a big in my school we had two stalls. You had the skinny,
Oh, this story.
you had the skinny stall, and then you had the handicap stall, which was like a mansion on the inside. You would open the
Mm-hmm.
door, and it was like half of the bathroom was back there, and it was awesome. And I always chose the gigantic stall whenever possible,
As you do.
as you do. I want privacy. I want to be able to just like get completely naked in that huge mansion of a fucking stall, strut around, dick out. You know how it is. And then
Yeah, we all
so
do
I
that.
decide to be funny. I'm gonna kick the stall in. And by this point, we didn't think anybody was in the bathroom with us. So I think I said like police open up, and I kicked the stall in. I broke the lock on it and
Oh my
opened up
god.
the door, and there was a dude behind it with his phone out jacking off. And all we heard after I immediately turned around and sprinted away was, "Bruh, I'ma steal ya." And that was the funniest thing me and Cody had ever heard in our lives. It was the funniest. To this day, it's still a fucking joke between me, Noel, and Cody. And oh my god, we went back and we reported to Noel and was like, "Noel, you gotta listen to what just happened." And
Bruh.
it's
You guys are fucking
so
idiots.
fucking funny. Bruh, I'ma steal ya. Noelle found something out recently from one of her Scottish, yeah, Scottish friends, that steal could mean like the euphemism punch, but steal could also mean Steel, as in knife, as in stab me. So I could have got stabbed for kicking down a door in high school, and
Bruh, I'ma steal you. Whoa.
that's not the only high school story I have of me and Cody. But
Oh,
Chad, do you want to give one real quick before?
I got a really messed up college one I could just jump to.
Okay, give us that one.
So I'm gonna tell you all the story about how I broke one of my art teachers,
Oh,
my
this.
art professors.
I know
So
this story.
every time we report back to this class, you have to have like a X amount
And he's
of
gone. And he's
X.
gone.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to have like X amount of pages, like full of sketches or whatever, to show that you're still doing work outside of class, even though we didn't really have homework, right? There's, right?
Yeah.
So what wound up happening is I had two sketchbooks and they looked identical. That was my first mistake, right? One of my sketchbooks was the actual school sketchbook. The other one was like, oh hey, I'm just gonna mess around in the sketchbook and draw stupid things, right? So I made a mistake about the other sketch. Or
And
I
he's
made a
gone.
mistake. Dang it. Am I back yet? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So I made a mistake and did my warm-up exercises in the other sketchbook, right? So I didn't think much of it until I got into class and actually handed my sketchbook to the teacher. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I goofed. He goes flipping through the pages. He's like, oh, yeah, the exercises you did pretty good. After he turned to the last exercises, curiosity got to the better of him. He turned the page one more time. On it was, well,
He's gone again.
hold on. Where did I cut off at?
He turns the page.
He turns the page and sees like a busted goblin chick in a two-piece swimsuit. Spread eagle saying, "Justice, please, you master."
Spread eagle
The
across the
look,
block.
The look on this man's face as he made eye contact with me. He just like flipped the thing, just like, all right, good job, sport. He could not make eye contact with me for the rest of the school year, or the one after that either. It was pretty good.
Good job.
I am proud of myself.
And I'm proud of you.
It means the world to me.
Nari, you got another story to tell before I tell this one about me and Cody?
Not really.
Alright, so going off of my previous story with me and Cody, we decided that we were gonna change all of the signs around the school because it was getting close to like the school election, and there was a bunch of signs around that were like, you know, political signs and stuff, but not like real politics, like school politics stuff. And so me and him decided the fucking funniest idea we've had were to go around and take all of the signs and turn them upside down and backwards. So that way, when everybody got into the school that day, there was just a bunch of blank signs littering the entire hallway. And when they turned them around, they would see it being upside down. And we walked into the school, and the school was like, what just happened? What happened to all the signs? And
What's wrong with you?
it was simultaneously the dumbest thing, and also no, that's not the dumbest thing we did. The dumbest thing we did was Hentai Club, and then the Yif Club, and also making fun of Mr. Waters.
What's wrong with
Leave
you?
Mr. Waters alone.
Well, Mr. Waters
What's hurt
was
you?
Mr. Waters was not only a racist, but also
Oh,
he had this policy. The school that I went to had a policy. I'll get to the Yif Club in a minute, Fezza. The school had a policy of not wearing hats indoors. So, Mr. Waters.
It's like every fucking high school.
Yeah, it is, but this school had it be very strict to where you could get suspended if you were caught doing it a bunch of times. And Mr. Waters, as I will attest to, can smell people with a hat from 50,000 yards away. Because the one time I decided to wear a beanie to school because it was cold, I forgot to take it off in the school, and Mr. Waters came up to me and he didn't grab it off my head, but he like tapped me on the head and was like, "You need to take that off." And I go, "What?" He goes, "You need to take that off." Again, but like more aggressive. So I take off my beanie and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I forgot." And he just goes, "Don't forget, it's the rule." I go, "What?" I said, "Don't forget, we have rules so that way people don't die." And I go, "How does taking a hat off, how does me having a hat on cause somebody to die?" He just goes, "It's the principle." I go, "Huh?" He goes, "I'm done talking to you," and walks away. And I swear, I don't think Noel was there that day, but that was one of the interactions I had with him. He also had a policy. He rigorously reinforced the school code of no swearing. And anytime I said anything, there's one time in specific that I remember. I brought my Game Boy to school and was playing Kirby on it. And I screamed, "Give me the fucking Mighty Mato." And he pulled me over, he took my Game Boy from me, and was like, "Why can't you control your emotions?" I didn't know how to respond to that. He also asked me for my name, and I'm such an idiot. I gave him a fake name, but I stuttered on the last name. So I went, "Matthew did it, but..." He's like, "You can't say your own last name." And I'm like, "It's hard to pronounce." And I started fake crying. And he sent me down to the principal's office, but he would never check on anybody if they actually went to the principal's office. So I walked around the corner, and I waited till he was gone, and then I came back right back to where I was at the beginning of school. Like this was like before the bell rang for to be dismissed to class, so it was Oh my god, Mr. Waters was a religious experience. So we messed with him one day, me and Cody. Cody printed off a bunch of these pictures of Reggie Fils with his fucking face really zoomed in. You know the picture.
Yeah.
And we posted around the school going, Mr. Waters, is your body Reggie? And on the very bottom of the page, we had like .-1 font for sports because he was a coach. And he got so fucking mad at all those posters, he started yelling at kids to say who put these up. And he, there was one time where Cody had ran up the stairs because we had like a stairwell that was like exposed in the middle of like an atrium area. So he ran up the stairs and slapped a poster on the wall on the stairs. And Mr. Waters walked right down, and he didn't see Cody, but he walked right down. He looked over at the poster, ripped it off the wall, and went on with his day. And Cody ran right back up behind him, without him seeing, and slapped another exact poster in the same exact spot. And Mr. Waters came back for like 2 or 3 minutes later and tore down that sign too. And then the bell rang and we had to go to class. But there was one poster that we put up. We had this big ass pillar in the middle of the second floor lunchroom because our lunchroom was separated into 2 floors. And I decided to jump up on a table and jump as hard as I could and take one of the posters and slap it onto the top of the pillar, and it was there for the rest of the school year. So every time Mr. Waters walked into the second floor cafeteria, he would look up at the pillar and just not shake his head. He would just shake his head because there was a fucking picture of Reggie Fils asking him, is his body Reggie for sports?
God damn it.
What's wrong?
Well,
No, seriously, what's actually wrong?
a lot of things. A lot
Who
of
hurt
things.
you?
And then, so, because Fezza asked about it, the YIF Club was another story where we decided to put up a bunch of other posters because this was club recruiting week and all the clubs had posters up and everything. And there was an anime club. There absolutely was an anime club in our school.
Because of course there was.
I went to a meeting one time with the anime club and they watched, I think they watched Nazca Valley of the Wind and like this one really fucking hard neckbeard, like really fucking fat neckbeard, and like yeah, fedora and overcoat, even though it's like the summer kind of deal. Really sweaty, probably hasn't taken a shower to this day. And his friend, a very skinny, lanky, blonde-haired guy with his hair that looked more like a how to put this? It looked more like a drain sink, a sink drain than it did actual hair.
Drain sink.
A sink drain than his actual, human hair. And they both were just loud as fuck while I was trying to watch Nazca in the Valley of the Wind and actually enjoy it with with the person that sat next to me. I think I actually knew the person that sat next to me, but we didn't talk all that much. She was very nice. I remember that. She said that she was the one. I think she was the one that brought the movie. But we were talking about the movie and everything. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite Ghibli movies." And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is a good Ghibli movie too." And these fucking guys in the back were like, "Actually, the best Ghibli movie is not this. It's My Neighbor Totoro." And I'm like, "Please go away, because you were not in our conversation."
This is an AB conversation, so see
You
your
need to
way
see
out.
I think what I said was, "I'm sorry, if I wanted your opinion, I would have gone to Reddit." And he had no idea how to respond to that.
Wow.
Fucking obliterated.
After that, they spent the next, 30 minutes of the movie, the last half of Nazca the Valley of the Wind, which is a stunning, absolutely amazing fucking animation movie. And they spent the last 30 minutes criticizing how the animation in Nazca Valley of the Wind was so, quote, Miyazaki, it hurt. But they described it in a bad way. And when I guess the president of the anime club was like, what do you mean by Miyazaki in a bad way? He like turned around in his seat and asked him. He just went, well, Miyazaki has like this style, and he went on like a tirade for the 20 or 30 minutes at the end of the movie while I was just trying to shut up and watch the movie, and just talking about how Miyazaki had such a influence on the anime industry and how like this movie is bad because it made all other anime look bad. And I went, what the fuck does that have to do with the movie we're talking about currently? What the fuck does it have to do with Nazca Valley of the Wind? And he just
This guy
goes,
just really wants to be controversial.
I think the last time I talked to him, he wore a Pepe the Frog pin on his backpack. And I don't ever want to speak to this man again, let alone see him. So back to the YIF club. So we had an anime club, and so me and Cody got the idea to put a bunch of posters around to get signatures for the hentai club. But the anime club figured out what we were doing and kept tearing down our posters and saying, we are not the hentai club. Do not come to our meetings if you're expecting hentai or whatever. And so we changed our tactic and started using YIF instead of hentai. And we put posters all around that had like collection signatures to get the YIF club in, which is not how you made a club in Osborne Park, the school that I went to. It was not how you made a club. And that was just so funny because we got like something like 30 or no, not even 30. It was like 15 or 16 signatures on like 7 different posters that we put up around the school. And first of all, nobody knew what was going on. And the people that did know what that was going on would put like the woo face, or not the woo face. They would put the XD face next to their name on the sign up sheet. And I don't really remember quite what happened after that, but all I can remember is that Cody took all the posters back down, except for one, because the school took down one, and was like, yo, let's actually do it. And I go, no, that's a stupid idea. So that's my stories from high school. I have more, but some of them are not Twitch appropriate. But if I think of another one that is, actually no, I have a few that are Twitch appropriate. I just want to give my other lovely guests some time to speak. I'll tell them.
What do I?
Also, for those who are wanting Fanfic Friday is going to be restricted down to the last 20 to 10 minutes of the podcast because it was taking up too much time on the last couple podcasts.
And killed some of our viewers.
And killed some of our viewers dead.
And some of our people that were on the podcast.
I could not hear a word you just said, Chad.
Wonderful. Great.
Sonaru, got some good stories?
No.
Oh.
That school is really boring for me.
What about college?
I've only been to college for 1 year.
Oh. Well, a lot can happen in 1 year.
Not really.
How many times have you met that guy that got poisoned on the toilet?
I've only heard him. It was literally only today.
How many times? No.
How many times, Naru?
What do you-
Quantifiable number.
1!
1 million?
Once. Oh my god, I'm leaving this
No,
podcast
no,
right now.
no,
Don't
no,
really-
don't leave.
It's the most fucking irritating thing.
It's pretty
How
much
dare
an
you.
echo chamber without you.
Yeah, it's pretty much me saying something and then Chad going, because his microphone sucks.
Oh, okay, excuse me. All right, look here. Look here. You're right.
he's
You're just proving his point.
somebody get Chad out of the
Shut
basement.
up!
Somebody get Chad out of the basement.
Somebody get me out of here. Grant has me locked down here against my will.
I did no such thing.
Liar! You
Traitor.
literally threw down a 20-piece chicken nuggets. How could I refuse?
You asked for it, and you said I asked. Where did you want it?
You didn't have to throw it. You didn't have to throw it down there.
I
You could have just been a decent human being, but you weren't.
You said, "Hey, watch this," and you went downstairs and told me to throw the chicken nuggets. You'll catch them in your mouth. So I did, but I misunderstood you and threw the whole box, and then you didn't catch them in the mouth because it smacked you in the face, and then I just kind of left. I agree. So, anyways, Naru.
Yeah.
Naru. Okay. I was worried you had left, actually.
No.
Uh, you got any stories from school, period?
No.
Wow. I
I'm
guess you.
telling you, I was like the boring person in school.
So,
Like
on
I
a,
was just the fucking like quiet nerd kid that would just play Zelda.
understandable. What about you, Chad? You got anything?
Stories like high school stuff.
It's high school or
Let's see.
college?
Hmm. I'm trying to think of some high school stuff because again, not like in high school, I was just super boring. I didn't care.
You guys are so
Well,
fucking
well,
boring.
there was like one
Wow,
thing during
thanks.
like
Thanks, my wonderful friend. I love your opinion that I'm boring.
In high school.
Wonderful.
during like
Shut
my
up.
one of my last years of high school, I had Fire Emblem Fates,
Yeah?
and I would play it.
You mean
And
Awakening?
no, Fates.
Fates didn't come out. What year did you graduate?
2016.
Fates came out in 20, like, 18. Not 2018, hang on, let me look.
Hey, 28.
Grant, what the fuck are you talking
You're
about?
objectively wrong again.
Objectively, wow. See, this is what I'm talking about. Grant's just got a fucking monkey brain.
Fire Emblem Fates came out in... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you dumbass. Alright, moving on. Anyways.
Oh, I thought I was thinking of the brand new one that came out. The one that I
What are
didn't
you
play.
talking about?
Idiot.
What
Warrior
the fu-
Warriors.
No! No, the new one that's like basically a remake of the old one.
No.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
No. Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah,
Not
my
Echoes.
brain is fucking stupid with word association, Naru.
Stupid idiot.
Thank you for affirming for
Okay.
me one of my biggest mental depressions. Fuck you.
Good. Now back to what I was talking about.
Grant's
I
getting
had
fucking pissed. Go ahead.
Fire Emblem Fates, and you know how they had like that really weird like room thing where you'd go in and you'd invite someone and it showed like this really shitty animation thing
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I'm pretty sure was like a free software people were doing on Tumblr.
yeah.
I had that, and the character that I was gonna marry was Rinka, and every time I did it, I
Hell
had to like,
yeah.
just kind of like close my 3DS so that no one saw it. It's like, God, I'm a fucking nerd.
Skinship. Oh. You mean skinship, Naru?
Who?
Skinship.
Who the fuck it? What?
Do you mean the skinship function? Where you fucking...
You mean kinship?
Fezza just said skinship, so that's what I called it.
I don't know what
Skinship.
skinship is.
The thing where you would go into your clubhouse with a companion of yours and they would raise their affinity for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Oh yeah,
what it's
no,
called.
no. It is skinship. Why is it called skinship?
Ah.
Oh, that. Now I understand. Never mind.
I wanted to touch my waifu and husbandos.
Well,
Go ahead, Naru.
Are you gonna expect the Western version?
But yeah, I would always
have
just
that?
like, I would just close the 3DS for a little bit and just like, I can't do this in public. What will people think of me?
And then here I am sitting on your shoulder, just like you, just urging you, open the thing. Be
I'm-
who you really are.
But yeah, that was awkward. And I hated Fire Emblem Fates for doing that because it looked shitty.
So, Naru's bad
I
opinions
don't know,
aside.
dude.
I still
um,
like Fire Emblem Fates. I just thought
just
that
doesn't
was
like a part of it.
weird.
Come on,
Unfitting.
it's better than Naru just saying that one thing and makes the entire game garbage. Come on now.
No, but
Come on.
I have to continue the joke. But
Continue the dumb shitty joke.
I remember in high school, I hung out with a bunch of nerd kids in my freshman year, and that was the same year that Awakening came out, and everybody had it because everybody had a 3DS. And there was one of my friends named Razi. Razi, if you're out there listening, fuck you. Um, he would
Wonderful.
assemble a team purposely built to demolish my team because he figured out that I was kind of I picked characters that had raw stats over like actual compatibility because I was an idiot back then and didn't really understand strategy games. I'm better now, but I was an idiot back then. Uh, actually no, I'm just an idiot.
Back
Period.
then.
I'm just an idiot. Period, Naru. But so I would just assemble characters that had just raw stats, but he would always make sure that every single team that he fought against mine would kill me in like 4 turns. And it made me so fucking mad that I wanted to make a team that destroyed Razi, but I didn't know how to do it. So what I did was I spent I think a good like 4 hours on the Fire Emblem forums on Reddit the previous night till like 2 a.m. in the morning and had to get up at 6 a.m. to go to school. So I was so dog shit tired that I had made my team and I was like, Razi, fight me. And he pulled out his DS and I pulled out my DS. And guess what?
You still lost.
I forgot to fucking charge my DS.
Good job.
So I just sat there. On the verge of tears because I couldn't fucking kick Razi's ass that day. I was so
Congratulations.
fucking sad about it. It was so stupid. It was the dumbest thing. Also, I did kick his ass in Pokemon because I was better at that. But I don't know. Fire Emblem Awakening was and is kind of my favorite Fire Emblem because it's just I like it. I like the characters a lot. I mean, Rinka's not in the game, which is like it has to keep the game at a only good standard because if Rinka was in that game, it would be a masterpiece. Because Rinka is my one true waifu. But going on to more stories that I can think of. There was the time that I jumped in the trash can and just strolled around. There was a time that this guy dressed up as the Hulk, but it was just a morph suit. It was just a morph suit and a Hulk mask. And the security guards tried to catch him, and he just ran off. And the whole lunchroom cheered for him when he did. What else? Somebody stole one of our TVs in broad daylight during like the lunch period. They just got a stepladder out and stole one of the TVs.
Great.
One of the senior pranks was to take the payphones that were at our school because we had payphones at our school. We had payphones at our school for I think for my junior until my junior year of high school. And then one of the senior pranks was we're gonna take the payphones and put them on people's cars. So they put a payphone on the principal's car in my freshman year of high school. They also streamered the principal's car, egged the principal's car. They somehow got a tow truck and moved the principal's car to the other parking lot. It's funny because the principal was like a cool guy. He wasn't like a good guy. He was just a cool guy. My principal was British. His name was Mr. Beach. Every time you asked him what country he was from, he would tell you he was from like Wisconsin or something. And we're like, that's not a country. And he goes, I know. And walk off. I had a very interesting high school years. Anyways, so, anything else we got for topics? Or we can change our topic if you'd like.
Let's see. What do we got? What do I have on tap for college stories?
Ugh. You have any
I don't know.
any man that gets poisoned in the stall?
Yeah. I don't remember something good. It's gotta be something good.
Did I tell you all the story of the man that had a purple dildo fall out of his backpack in the middle of the lunch in
No, but I'm
college?
interested. I'm very interested.
So 1 or 2 weeks ago, this guy tripped on, I guess, nothing, and had a dildo fly out of his backpack. Well, it was less of a backpack and more of like one of those drawstring bags. And it flew out of it, landed on the floor, and he just started like freaking out, hyperventilating on the floor. And it was big and it was purple. And that was the end of the story. And I tweeted about it, and one of the guys that I replied to it was like, "Pic, sir, it didn't happen." And I'm like, I wish I could have gotten a pic, but I was laughing way too hard at it. Um, yeah,
Wonderful. Amazing.
wonderful, amazing,
Fantastic.
fantastic, stupendous. Those are the quick stories I can think of. If Marsh was here, she'd probably have some stories, cause her school's almost as crazy as mine is, or was. Do you guys seriously not have any school stories?
No.
Really?
We've told you we don't have any school stories because we're boring.
God, man. Well, I don't want to just leave with like awkward silence for the next like 20 minutes. You got all right. So let's change the topic then. What about just stories from your high school days? Not exactly high school stories.
Okay.
We're not all bosses. That's true. I just can't imagine why you guys don't have any story. Like, you could make one up, and I wouldn't doubt it. You could just be like,
Yeah, but where's the fun in doing that?
I don't know, entertainment, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't want to like.
Whoa, we just got 9 viewers. Thanks, guys. Um, but anything from like high school, like not high school, but like high school days. Or you know what? Elementary school days. You got anything from elementary school days? I got a lot from elementary school. I was a fucking terrible kid in elementary.
Oh, I was chilling. A little
No, I was
okay,
a good boy.
Here's one
Go ahead.
from elementary school. Now, since then, I've put the limiters back on. During elementary school, there were no limiters. Right?
You showed your power level at all times.
I showed my power level, and no one stepped up again. So I put my limiters back on.
And Chad's gone again.
No, I'm still here though. The limiters are too strong these days.
The computer is the limiter now.
I am the limiter now. But yeah. Just sitting trying to do a quiz in class, you know. I think it was second grade maybe. So there's some kid behind me. Just constantly like, oh, just crack the fat jokes, you know. You get how it is, right?
Yeah, CeeLo Green.
Yeah. Wonderful. Great. I hate you. So what wound up happening was this kid just kept bothering me, and I just really wanted to get this test over with because it was like it was more busy work than anything, and nothing I hate more than busy work, right? So
Yeah, I got you.
he went one joke too far, so I just stood up in the middle of the test, walked to him, picked him up along with the desk, turned the desk over with him still sitting in it, and he just fell out of it.
What
And then I dropped it on him.
What an alpha move! What the fuck?
And then I sat back down to complete my test. Nobody said a word to me, not even the teacher.
Jeez. Holy shit, Chad. I would have
I
clapped.
put the limiters back on because, like, I realized, I look back, I feel terrible for some of the stuff that I've done. Even if it wasn't bad, I feel terrible for it.
I remember in elementary school, I would go to the principal's office at least weekly because of dumb shit that I did.
What?
I would either get into a fight, or I would, start messing with the teacher, or I would send a death threat out to a child, or I was bullied a lot in elementary school, and I'll explain the story. The way that I like to give it an analogy is like I was in the middle of a mafia story because there was I shit you not when I say this. So there was a hierarchy of kids in my school. that were in my class.
class there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how that is.
So you had at the top this kid who I will not give out his name, even though I hate him. Um,
Dox him.
I,
Dox
I
him.
I will just call him Brandon. Let's call him Brandon. That's not his name, but let's call him Brandon. And he had an older brother who was
Full disclosure, that's his name.
no. Uh, he had a brother that was his big brother, and me and Brandon went to the same daycare as each other. We went to this place called Miniland or whatever. And by the way, a little side story. My brother accidentally kicked a piece of tire, like a chewed up tire playground thing, down Brandon's throat, and he almost choked and died. And it was the best day of my life. And I loved my brother ever since then. But going back to the story, Brandon was the head boss because he had a brother that was like a cool older brother. I don't know if you guys remember your elementary school days, but everybody seemed to have a cool older brother that they would lie about. I did too. I'm the oldest in my family. I have no older brother. But he would always talk about how because his older brother was only a year older than us. He went to the same daycare that we did. So because of that, I get to daycare, and I'm a Pokemon geek at this point. I'm into a lot of different stuff. I have Pokemon cards, I got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And because I'm such a gullible little shit and that caves to peer pressure, back then I would trade Yu-Gi-Oh cards for ridiculous things. Like I remember trading away my Dark Magician for like a little
No.
for fucking like a Monster Reborn or some shit like that.
Dude, there was like nerds in my library that would buy your Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I hung out with those type of people. Although
I'm pretty sure like a friend of mine like sold enough Yu-Gi-Oh cards to afford like the special edition of Fire Emblem Fates.
that's impressive. So that he was the mob boss, and now another guy who I will not give the name out. Let's call him Seth. He was the enforcer. He was a big lad. When I say big lad, we were all maybe like 3 foot in elementary school. This child had a growth spurt right before elementary school started, and he was like 5 foot. So he was a
Amazing.
big lad. And anytime Brandon or anybody else would get into a fight, this big lad, Seth, would come up and back him up. Unless the teachers broke it up, of course. So he was the enforcer, and Seth used to be my friend when he was small. I knew Seth because he lived in the same neighborhood as I did. So Seth was my friend before. And then Brandon came in and was like, yeah, how about I bribe Seth with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, and action replays to be my friend instead of Grant's. And so not only was there a mafia boss, but there was also an enforcer. And then there was like several other little smaller people. There was one that I'm not gonna name, but call him Kendrick, I guess. Let's get another
Lamar?
one. Yeah, Lamar. Let's get another guy. There was another guy named. Well, I'm not gonna say his name, so I'll just call him Adam. And now Adam was the one that antagonized me the most out of this group of like 5 or 6 kids that were always in my class. And Adam was not a very large lad, not like Seth, but he was bigger than me. I was a very small kid until I got to middle school, and then I had a growth spurt, and then I had a growth spurt, and then I was like 5'7" in middle school, and then I didn't really change much. I grew a few inches, but that was it. Getting back to the story, so Adam would always pick on me in a physical manner. And the teachers knew this and tried to place Adam in a separate class as me. But because he had friends, the mafia as I call them, in the same class as me, they would gang up on me to make fun of me because I'll admit it. I have Asperger's, and I was a little bit, hard to handle when I was a kid, especially with ADHD that I also have. So I would be very, very loud and obnoxious sometimes during class, and I'd raise my hand, teacher, teacher, and then say something that was completely nonsensical and not privy to the study plan that had in front of us. So a lot of the kids found me as annoying, but yeah, a lot of kids found me as annoying. So I didn't really have very many friends in elementary school. Uh, so the one day I decided to stand up to these guys, the one day I decided I had enough, was the day after they decided to trick me into getting suspended. So the story goes, how they tricked me into getting suspended. We were going to play blind tag. And now, blind tag is great, except when you cheat, because sometimes people will like crack their eye open ever so slightly and you can't tell if they actually have their eye open or if they're just blinking. So these kids would always do that. And my strategy for blind tag was to hide in the jungle gym. So I would hide in the jungle gym and, try to like climb up when he had his eyes closed, and he wouldn't find me because I climbed up the jungle gym or whatever. Except this time Adam opened his eyes ever so slightly and tagged me, and now I was the guy that had it. So what they did was they took another female student, let's call her Savannah, and they took her and they put her in my spot. So what I thought was, I'm going to go to my spot and see if anybody's hiding there, because it was a good idea. So when I did, they kept making noises and I kept like throwing my arms out, and when I did, I accidentally hit Savannah really hard and knocked her off the playground, or off the jungle gym.
Yeah, knocked her off the
Yeah,
playground.
yeah, I'm not fucking the Hulk, but I knocked her off the jungle gym and she fell and she skinned her knee, and she cried a bunch. And when the teachers asked what happened, the boys come in, Adam and Brandon and Seth. They're like, well, he was on the jungle gym and he slapped her butt and pushed her off the jungle gym. And I go, what? I didn't do that. We were playing blind tag, because the teachers during that time weren't watching us and didn't give a shit. My elementary was a piece of shit. A piece of shit school. So they accused me of all this, and I don't know if you guys have been privy to the well, it's 3 of them or 5 of them against 1 of you.
Yeah, no, I know.
And we're just gonna take the kids that are, there's more kids that say this happened, even though that they're all friends, and we know they're all friends, and not believe Grant, even though this is an entirely reasonable story. And so I got instant suspension for 2 days, and after that, I decided I had enough. Now, Seth lived in my neighborhood, so I knew when Seth came to school and when Seth didn't come to school, because we would ride the bus together. So, like, maybe the day after my suspension, no, 2 days after my suspension ended. It was like a Wednesday my suspension ended, and then like Friday. Seth didn't come to school. So I decided, that's it, I've had a fucking enough of this. And I went in there, and I went, on recess. I picked up this huge, like, oak branch that was over by the woods where the playground connected to the woods.
Yeah.
And I took it and I swung it against Adam's stupid, dumb fucking head. And it busted his head open on the back of it, and he bled everywhere, and he started crying. And then the other 2 tried to come over and, like, fight with me, but I had this big-ass stick, so they didn't want to get near me. And so that almost got me expelled. But when I was crying and bawling my eyes out with the teacher, they were like, why'd you do this? And I go, because they bully me every fucking day I'm here. And I chose the one day that the big guy is not here to start taking back, and it was I think I did actually get like out of school suspension for like a week after that. And but I just remember that as the day that they kind of pulled back a little bit on messing on me, and then they started messing with some other kids, and at which point the teachers caught on, because they realized, oh shit, this group of like 5 kids are messing with everybody. And eventually, when we got to middle school, they all got split up. I think Adam went to a different school. Brandon was in the same school as I was, and Seth was in the same school as I was, but like the 3 other kids were gone. And because of that, I had that big growth spurt, and now Seth and Brandon were no longer the big boys. I was the big boy. Although I won't say that I didn't use that to my advantage, but for like the 1 year that I was the big boy until they had their growth spurts again, I definitely was like, you can't push me around anymore. Now, Brandon, I'm just gonna give this one last little thing, and then we're gonna go to the fanfics. Brandon is somebody who, again, I'm not using his real name. This is not his real name. Somebody who I thought broke into my house one time because of this reason. It was like maybe when I was 14, 15 in high school, and we had gone on vacation and had come back, and our house was broken into, and everything was destroyed. The whole, like, everybody's rooms was a mess. They threw phones in the toilet. They unplugged they unplugged and like ripped the shit out of the wall. They stole my brother's Xbox. They thankfully did not steal my computer, but when they came into my room, they destroyed it. They left my bed like upturned and thrown everywhere. They were trying to find my computer, but I had took my computer with me on the trip, so I was thankful that I did. But they like stole a bunch of shit and they broke windows and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, the police came and they're asking me like, do you know anybody that would do this? And I said, yes. It was Brandon so and so. That lived at so-and-so lane, and he had a friend named, it was, yeah, no, it wasn't Seth, it was, it wasn't Alex, and it wasn't the other one, it was, anyways, that's not important, but there was 2 of them that lived in my neighborhood that I was like, go check on these guys, because I knew that they were bad, because Brandon had gotten arrested for smoking weed. And we didn't get thrown in jail, but got a hefty fine. So I was like, if anybody's desperate for money, it was him. And that's my story of how I was, I had elementary school mafia after me.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I was a bad kid in elementary school, both because of that and because of other reasons, which I'm not getting into.
Well, there was one other thing, and it was a short thing, I guess I can get to.
Okay, we can get to it, and then we'll read some more
Then we'll go
fanfickies.
into the fan. Do you have one on standby, by the way?
Either we can continue with one more chapter, or 1 or 2 more chapters of My Immortal, or we can watch, or we can try to find a different one.
It's not the same without Marsh, I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, it really isn't the same without Marsh.
Draco! But, anyway. So, high school, there was one thing. So, again, nerd kid, right?
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
People would come to me, asking for help. Not demanding, because stories of, elementary and middle followed me into high school.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, could you, don't understand how to do this thing, and the teachers are freaking won't understand.
My God, Chad. Please. You're
Where'd it cut out at?
Yes.
Great. So they come to me for help because they were like, well, the teacher's a jerk and they probably don't understand the material that they're teaching, so could you, help us? Maybe? I was like, yeah, fam, I got you. So doing this earned me favors, right? And from favors also from the quote-unquote delinquent crowd, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'll call this in someday. Someday.
Yeah.
So there would come a point, there would be some idiot that didn't know about me. So they just be bothering me and messing with me. And I was like, my fighting days are over because I'm not trying to get kicked out of school. Because, had I fought in high school, I would have been arrested. So, you know.
Yeah. Because of reasons.
Because of reasons. So I would have been like, okay, I got an idea. I know what I can do. So there was some kid that that decided to say some like next level racist stuff to me.
Ooh, what brand of racism did he use? Did he just call you the N-word or like in the most Twitch friendly way?
Southern rich family racist. I'll put it like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I was like, I didn't have any witnesses per se, but I kind of, called in a favor from like several people that basically said, yeah, no, we've heard him say the thing. Some people even, quote unquote, they went the next level. I never asked for this. They kind of forced a recording, like an audio recording that sort of
No
sounds like him.
way. No way. Really?
Yes!
Holy shit. I wish I had friends like that backing me up. I just got my dumbass
He got-
Cody backing
This
me up.
idiot. This idiot got expelled.
Fucking rip, dude. Rip as fuck, dude. That is hilarious, and he deserved every second of it.
Yeah. So there was that. And to this day, I'm surprised I'm still not dead. Anywhoosies.
That's so good. So, I'm gonna throw it over to chat and say, chat, do you guys want a quality fanfic today or a shitty one?
There's a difference.
Yeah?
Lying.
I'll see the first thing that says first person that types in the chat. That's what we'll do, and not you two. And
Oh, hey,
I
guess
will.
who wants to hop in?
Oh, hey, we were gonna have our
Get in here.
a musical guest join us in a few minutes, few seconds.
The music scaly.
The
Get him in here.
music scaly. Get
I
him
mean, there's
in
only
here.
so.
Okay. First person to speak. Quality bad. Okay, Fezzo demands bad quality. So that's
Or
what we're gonna
quality, but also bad at the same time, maybe. Fez, elaborate just real quick.
do.
'Cause
Fezza.
there's like two different things.
Yes, Fezza. Give us the goods.
Makes sense, yeah. Let's find the beer fanfic.
Oh.
One that Germa wrote.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Alright, so there's no Bia fanfic. But
I'll get on it.
the first thing that pulled up when I searched that Bia fanfic was, oh yeah, her chapter 1 prologue in Iron Man Armored, and then it's got like 7 different things after the other words. The second thing that pulls up is Yeah Yeah's Girl chapter 1, a Sandlot fanfic. Type. Which one do you want to guys? Which one do you guys want to do? It looks like the Sandlot one's not all that big. All that, yeah, big. 7 chapters, 2,000 words. Versus Iron Man Armored Adventures, 27 chapters. Fuck that.
Hey man, it's Iron Man Armored Adventures. That intro's a banger. If they did not write out all the song lyrics at some point in this, I will be very disappointed.
Yeah, this looks something.
We probably should have looked this up ahead of time.
Probably, but at the same
Live
time,
and learn, right?
at the same time, I kind of like doing shit on the fly with scuffed audio, scuffed everything.
Naru, are you dead?
Yeah, I think Naru's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, there he is. I heard
Yeah, I'm
one.
dead.
He's calling from the afterlife.
He's calling from the afterlife. Naru, you got something? You got a bad fanfic you want us to read?
No.
Well, aren't you just enthusiastic today?
Yeah.
I have 9 messages from the group. Why? Oh, okay. I see why. Alright. Well, we're gonna do the first chapter of this Sandlot fanfic. I haven't read this and I don't know if it's good or bad, but If you want to read along, there's the link. I'm gonna give you the link. There you go. And oh boy, let's get into this Sandlot fanfic. Let's see who is on this.
I hate all of them.
Oh, so there's a self-insert.
Oh, whoa. Self-insert?
No, it's not a self-insert. It's a OC insert into this Sandlot.
AKA a self-insert.
AKA sometimes a self-insert. So let me just read off the
They may not be named Mary.
let me just read off the description for this. Yeah, friends, Carla is scared when she's about to face the beast. When she finds out it's okay, she's got a whole new issue to deal with. My summaries suck and my chapters are short, but I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, whoa. Who's this that joined? Oh, hey, it's him. What's up, Chris?
Hello,
Howdy.
Chris.
Howdy,
Hang on,
howdy.
let me edit the thing.
Rowdy?
You have 10 minutes.
I'm aware. So, chapter 1. I guess we can assign
Actually,
the roles
you have
as
9
is
minutes.
go on.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
A different one?
No, we're reading this
I
one.
call narrating.
TF2 versus TF2 NGX Mini Sentry.
Oh.
I don't
Oh, no.
I don't think
He loves that little gun.
he loves that little Hee-wee!
You just hear muffled, "Hoo-wee," in some back room.
From the fucking hill.
You just hear a bunch of yeehaws.
Making bacon.
Making bacon.
I don't like this.
Yeah, sorry, you can't actually give links in chat unless you're an admin, but you can send it to me on Discord. What you can do is you can join the Discord in the link below my fucking channel, and then head on over to that fanfic tab and fucking put that link in there. If you want.
His friend Carla is scared when he's about to face the beast.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
No.
Are you
I call
prepared?
narration.
Alright, Chad's gonna do the narration. The first
Mhm.
character that we're gonna get will be Chris. The second character
Oh god.
will
I'm
be me. The third character will be Naru.
So I'm the main character.
You're
but-
Carla. You're the self-insert.
You are the Carla.
Great. Self-insert. I'm down.
Alright. Chad,
I
whenever you're
don't know
ready,
who I
take us
am.
away.
Alright. My own is Carla. Well, her and the laptop I wrote this on.
They're gonna do what to you?
I exclaimed, standing up off the stoop.
Is this the same person?
I think so.
Yeah. Are you crazy?
It'll be safe.
He assured me.
Ham will be manning the bike pedals. They're just gonna lower me down nice and slow.
That's a terrible idea.
I stressed. Yeah was my best friend, and outside of the Sandlot guys, I was his best friend too, although he'd probably never admit it. If anyone was going to talk him out of this horrible plan, it would have to be me.
Well, you got a better idea?
He asked.
It's Babe Ruth's ball. Do you understand what that means? We have to get it back.
Of course I know who he is. Who do you think I am, Smalls?
I asked.
And anyway, why can't Smalls go get it? It was his stupid idea to use that ball in the first place.
Benny doesn't want to send Smalls over. He can't handle that sort of pressure. He dropped dead on the spot.
Yeah, explained.
And you won't.
I asked.
What if the beast comes there? He'll eat you.
Slowly getting more Italian. I won't get eaten.
He said, but I couldn't tell who he was trying. I couldn't tell who he was trying to convince more, me or himself.
Yeah. You don't gotta do this.
I said.
No one will think any less of you.
Yeah, they will.
He said, frowning.
Listen, I gotta go home now, but I'll see you tomorrow. Anyways, come over after.
Fine.
I said.
Good luck.
Thanks, you fucking Goomba.
He answered, But I wasn't just gonna leave it at that.
Oh, God, we gotta go
Yeah,
to
no.
two.
There's we're not there's something magical.
This is pretty good. Okay, next chapter. We'll do 3 chapters of this, and then we'll go on to questions at the end. You guys ready?
You have
still
like
eating,
5
but-
minutes.
Yeah, but the stream can go over. Fuck it.
That's
It's
dumb.
only a loose rule, Naru. So you're up first, Chris.
Okay.
Looks like my morals.
Hi, Mrs. Rodriguez. It's Benny.
I asked sweetly when his mom opened the front door.
Naru.
honey, I'll call him now.
She
March!
said, calling,
March.
oh, homie!
Where's the kids, March? Where's the kids?
She
Oh,
said,
God.
calling up the stairs for him before turning back to me.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I replied.
as well.
She said,
You have to
before
wait for the narrator, Naru.
She said before muttering something to Benny about how he should be more polite, like I am. Oh gosh, I can smell the self-insert.
Benny Rodriguez, are you nuts?
I shouted as soon as she'd closed the door. He flopped down on his stoop. I could tell he'd been expecting me.
No fucking Carly Gambino, I'm not
Childish
nuts.
Gambino, he said.
Listen,
Try.
I don't want this any more than you do. But we gotta do what we gotta do.
Don't say that.
I said.
Don't lie to me.
I'm no lying.
He said.
You think I want to throw yeah over the fence? Of course not. But there's no other way. There's no other way.
Well, you better make sure nothing happened to me. Benny Rodriguez. Because if something does, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Will you boys like some eggs?
That wasn't.
Mark, go away. Nobody wants it. Yeah.
Back, foul beast.
I'll make sure he. Hey, I'll make sure he gets it.
The older boy promised, pulling me to sit on the steps with him. After a beat, he said,
So, you like him, huh?
What do you mean?
I asked, hoping it was dark enough that he couldn't see me blushing.
You like yeah.
He said,
It's obvious.
What do you mean it's obvious?
I asked before catching myself. I hadn't meant to admit anything to him.
Come now, Carla, my sweet Carla. You don't have to feel bad about it. So what if you like yeah? At least he's not Phillips or someone.
Benny shrugged.
No big deal.
No big deal. Benny, of course it's a big deal. You can't ever tell him or any of the guys. They die of laughter.
I said, putting my head in my hands. My life was totally over. If Benny knew, who else did? Ham? Beltran? Squints?
They wouldn't die laughing.
The older boy said, putting his arm around me.
Well, maybe Ham.
Oh God.
I muttered, still not looking up.
Come on, it's no problem. Nobody knows but me.
Benny said.
I don't know. I know I don't look like I'm paying attention, but I am. More than the other mooks, at least.
Promise you're the only one.
Cross my heart,
He
Capiche?
answered.
and I won't tell anyone either.
Thanks, Benny.
I said, giving him a kiss on the cheek.
You're the best.
I know. Now run out of here, you fucking scamoosh. Yeah, get out of here.
You're fucking gook.
You fucking go, get out of here.
Okay.
Which one
It's
was
okay. It's okay. I'm Italian. I can say that.
it? You got it.
No, that's not an attempt. I'll just let you figure it out. You're a big boy now.
Okay. Alright, so that went over way longer than I thought it was going to go, so we're not gonna read 3 chapters, we're just gonna read 2 chapters.
Are you boys still want my eggs?
Get out! No one
Go
asked
away!
you.
Get the fuck out of here!
Benny, do you want your
Get the
eggs?
fuck out of here, Ma!
Benny, it's time for bed.
Ma!
Benny.
Ma! I ain't gonna fucking talk to you right now, Ma. You better get the fuck out of here before I give you 5 across the fucking face!
Benny, I will marry you with your father.
Oh, God. No.
You'll be swimming with the fishes, Daddy-o. Alright, so, anybody got any questions real quick before we leave? Let me check the YouTube to make sure we ain't got any question from last time.
Only eggs can sustain me.
Shut
Bring
up.
me eggs.
Bring me eggs.
If you have a
Bring me
question,
eggs.
if you have a question, if you have a question,
I need you to go to Flanders. I will love you forever.
I love you forever. I am your character arc.
You better get one.
You better go. But mine.
I am your wife.
I'm just gonna let him go. Thanks, I've been the boss. Who are you people?
You go first.
It goes in order. Chad.
I require eggs.
Man, what do you even want from me?
I am a man.
That's Naru, and that's Chris, because nobody
Howdy.
can be fucking professional here.
Your podcast is not eggs.
Just remember, if you believe it,
And we're losing viewers. Good job.
if you believe it, fuck you. Good night, everybody.